Hello friends, I am very excited to bring you my final presentation on PLC development and intervention. My topic will be circles. Here's the scenario. Disparities between whites, Asians, and people of higher socioeconomic status and minorities. More suspensions for minorities, lower graduation rates, higher dropout rates, fewer minorities entering college after high school. What's the diagnosis? Well, teachers can't teach if they see minority students as a problem. They lack cultural sensitivity, lack empathy, lack relationship building skills, PBIS skills, have low expectations. And the students, they can't learn if they bring their problems from home to school with them, are caught in a cycle, don't feel safe at school, don't think teachers or other students care, and behave the way others expect them to. So today I want to compare circles with PLCs. People first versus learning first. Circles focus on social and emotional health, the needs of the community, giving everyone a voice, developing accountability community-wide, repairing harm done, decreasing recidivism, while the PLC cycle focuses on developing effective instructional strategies that yield results, adapting to different student needs, being accountable, and results-oriented. There are a lot of similarities and crossover, but alone, neither addresses the whole child. The PLC cycle yields successful results. For example, graduation rates have increased in Utah for whites, Asians, and students of higher socioeconomic status. But for minorities, graduation rates have barely risen, and only about 7 out of 10 graduate. Suspension rates are still higher for minorities, dropout rates, prison rates. So the PLC cycle does have its limits to growth. A lot of schools in turnaround discover this when they exit turnaround. At first, they're able to achieve the gains needed to exit, but then test scores flatline, and what was working before is no longer working. I would argue that the PLC process is a two-dimensional approach to student success. It's based on teaching, assessing, and adjusting the instructional approach to meet academic needs of students. But it does not address the social and emotional needs of students, nor does it address community problems. Can kids focus when their social, emotional needs are not met? Can teachers? Now let's talk about circles. The number one norm of a circle is to respect the talking piece. Other norms are built on respect, truth, trust, sharing experiences, sharing and listening to different perspectives from the heart. There are many types of circles. The talking circle is a safe, non-judgmental place where each participant has the opportunity to contribute to the discussion of difficult and/or important issues. Community circles provide teachers a window into the social, emotional, and academic needs of their students that they otherwise may not learn. Teachers can use this data to build lessons that respond to the needs of the community. Restorative circles develop relationships and build communities that are supported by clear collective agreements, authentic communication, and specific tools to bring issues and conflicts forward in a helpful way. Everyone has an equal opportunity to speak and be listened to. Restitution. The offender is given an opportunity to repair the harm done to the victim, making the offender a productive person. And this in turn allows healing and closure for the victim. This is how it's practiced. When you have a behavior issue, call a circle. When circles become a part of your culture, it becomes the norm to say, we need to have a circle. These are some questions that will guide the restorative process and bring restitution. Remember, document, document, document. You can also provide these questions up front and have the student write the answers for your documentation. I suggest uniting the talking circle and the PLC process. Imagine the impact schools can have on both academics and social emotional well-being, and for addressing deep-rooted issues in the community that may take generations to heal. This is just my fancy little illustration of how you can take the PLC result cycle from 2D to 3D. Let's take a look at the circle stages that you see around the periphery of the circle. Getting acquainted, building relationships, then addressing issues, then taking action. Here are some circle topics you can use in the classroom to get acquainted with your students. Here are some circle topics you can use in the classroom to check in first thing in the morning before you begin instruction. This can give students who are bringing problems from home an opportunity to air them out, to feel connected and loved so that they can focus on learning. Here are some circle topics you can use to check out for the day or for the week, leaving it on a good note. Once students are acquainted and relationships are built, we can start addressing issues, the real issues. We can help our students to improve their emotional intelligence. We can help them to develop conflict resolution skills. We can apply what we learned in getting to yes and help our students to develop negotiation skills. We can teach our students the third alternative. And the final step, most important, is taking action. And that question, what do you think needs to be done to make things as right as possible, is really important. We want our students to share and process their problems so that they can focus and learn. We want them to learn new habits and coping skills, to feel safe at school, to feel like teachers and students are their family away from home, and to behave the way others expect them to. There are also applications to circles in our PLCs. For example, building relationships, building shared knowledge, establishing trust and accountability. Here are some circle topics you could use to help teachers get acquainted in their PLCs. Here are some circle topics you could use to help teachers build relationships. We can use that PLC time to address real issues like teachers seeing minorities as the problem or lacking cultural sensitivity. Taking action. What do you think needs to be done to make things as right as possible?
I think the greatest change was in me. I began to see the same behaviors over and over again. And when I realized it, I said, something else is wrong if Johnny can't stop fighting. So then I reached out to our clinicians, our social workers and our counselor and our case manager, and I said, look at this. I need you to look at the behaviors that I'm seeing. Find out the trigger. What's triggering him to that point? And then once we found that out and I began to really look at it, it was time to stop talking about the problem and making a solution.
What we want to teach our students is to kind of navigate through that conflict, take some accountability, ownership of that, of when you do harm, and really learn the skill of reflecting on it.
When we have restorative conversations with students, when we can talk one-on-one and share our feelings, like, this is how I feel right now, this is how you affected my teaching, this is how this impacted everybody else, how do you feel about this? Or what would you do if you were me?
And suddenly now they're confronting it in the moment, being present on what really happened, rather than making up excuses or rationalizing it away, blaming someone else for it. So we do a lot of peer-to-peer conversations and teaching them how to talk to each other, and then we also do conflict resolution, a lot of that. We've also established more of a culture of respect and a culture of positive interactions. We're really stressing positive relationships.
It's adults in this building that will give you a different point of view. Most of the time, it prevents things from happening.
When they start seeing other people, faculty and staff members, generally caring about them, not just, hey, how you doing, but actually, how are you?
Other faculty members here, they want us to graduate on time.
This year has been really, really good. The hallway's peaceful. You have students in class.
Grades went up, scores went up, NWA went up. We shown growth.
It's like everybody's trying to learn right now. Everybody's trying to pass and trying to learn something.
All the other teachers here, they are very supportive. They really want you to do the right thing when it comes to education, and they want you to have a really good life. They don't want you out in the street.
When I began to really assess the communities, where they're coming out of and what's going on with them at home, then we wanted this to be their safe haven.
If I need help on something, I can go to one of the teachers, the staff. They make you feel like you're a family to them. You mean something to them. You're very special.
We actually listen. We talk to. We mentor. We give and help develop skills to students that might not have necessarily had them. Some of the students look at us as fathers, mothers, mentors.
And that's the difference, the concern, the compassion, the love, and that's called real love that they're giving them.
And what I want to see is less students giving up and more students making the decision and the choice to be somebody positive in our community.
Integrating circles in your daily schedule can create huge improvements in your school culture and the social emotional well-being of students and teachers. This process can provide healing and restoration and adaptive solutions to community problems that will have lasting impacts for generations to come. There are tons of resources and videos available to help you get started on creating a circle culture in your classroom, your PLC, or your school when you become a principal. Phew, that ends my broadcast, and school is out. See you in June.